on the table. Like the graduate I was speaking to today, who has been out of employment for the last 2 years and is still looking. And he says, what do I do? These are the real situations that are facing people on the streets of Bradford. Food banks on the rise. Unemployment. You know, this government thinks that by taking people off who they've sanctioned and by putting people on who are on 0-hour contracts, they can fudge the unemployment figures. Well, we can see through that. And like previous speakers said, in Bradford, £160 million in cuts. £500 million by 2020 cuts to the public sector. This is what we're dealing with. The NHS, and at the same time they tell us this, the Conservative MPs and their constituencies continue to be looked after. The NHS, one of our most treasured national assets, continues to be under threat. And let's make no mistake, if we have another round of this government, then what you will have is a two-tier system where the rich can go and pay for their health care and the poor will be left stood in queues, long waiting. We've already seen £3 billion taken away from frontline services and, quite frankly, wasted. These are the legacies of this government. This is a government that believes that people choose to be poor. Well, George Osborne and David Cameron, I've yet met anybody who's openly admitted that to me, and I suspect anybody in Bradford has yet to meet that person who chooses to be poor. The reality is, they don't know how people like us here, working class, who have to work. My first job was sweeping floors in Morrison's at the age of 15. And I've worked throughout my life then. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I say that everywhere. Because this government has no realization of the real issues people in places like Bradford face. So we have one choice, friends. 7th of May, the choice you have is between a Labour government or a Conservative government. That's the two choices. The smaller parties don't fit into the equation anywhere there. And in that, if we want a future for this district that includes all communities, if we want a future for this district where you have hard-working MPs that continue to put their constituents and continue to put their constituents' problems first, if we want a district that continues to enjoy a free first-class healthcare, if you want a district where our coming generations will be better off, then vote for me in Bradford East, Nash Shah in Bradford West, Judith Cummings in Bradford South, and John Grogan in Keighley. Thank you very much.
Can I say this to you, Naz, that all the councillors from Bradford West, we're with you all the way. This is not your election, this is our election, this is our fight. We're with you all the way. So with that, can I invite Councillor Sinead Engel from Clayton Fairley Green.
Just a little thing about life with a councillor in Bradford West recently. I've been taking on casework that should have been dealt with by the MP. I've been doing ATOS appeals, I've been doing tribunals, I have had to enlist the help of the at the top of the agenda every single day. Not to tell people, can't be bothered being in your problem, go see your local councillor. I don't know if those words have been used, but that's the gist of what constituents have been coming to me and telling me. So, My neighbours, my friends, my children's friends, everybody I see in the bus queues, at the car, at the local co-op, desperately needs not only a Labour government, so that we can have a dedicated Labour MP for Bradford West. We need this. Every single one of us needs to do every little thing we can to make sure that happens. The conversations we're having at the bus stop, the conversations we're having at the school gates, the conversations after this deliver what the people around us need on May the 7th. That's all I'm asking for you to do. Thank you.
We need every one of you. We need your help. We need your support. Whatever you are able to bring leaflets, whatever sort of help that you think that you are able to do, please.
Lovely to see so many people. I'll need to shout now. Assalamu alaikum everyone and good afternoon. It's lovely to see so many people turn out to support Naz Shah. I would like to start by saying Naz Shah is somebody that I admire. Somebody that has stood up against many issues in our local communities. Somebody who's been brave enough to stand up to be our MP. And these are things that I applaud. I personally would like to extend my support to Naz Shah as a sister, and I would urge everybody to come forward and support Naz. She is a woman of courage and integrity, and these are the qualities that she will take to Parliament to represent us. In my local ward, I've been out and about talking to people, and I have found that there are a lot of young people, particularly women, and my daughter is one of them, that admire Naz and saying all the things that maybe we want to say but sometimes don't feel that we're able to say out there in public. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Again, I would urge everybody to come out and support Naz Shah. Naz Shah.
Thank you, Mr.
May the 7th is about one clear, stark choice. And that choice is about voting for a Labour MP, voting for 6 Labour councillors in Bradford West, or voting for the inequality and the divisiveness and the social injustice perpetrated by George Galloway, by the Tory government and by the Lib Dems. In my ward, in my great ward, it's an amazing. We voted for the first time last year. And I asked him, I said to him, what is the thing? What's going to go make you go out and vote? He's there, we're on the doorstep, we're responding to the problems, and we're the ones who can win, and we're the ones who can affect years old, lifelong Labour supporter. And again, talking about fighting that social injustice, what the Tories have always perceived Naz Shah as our next MP. And what we've been grown to in terms of support. As of this year, this council will be giving over 2,000 more beds. Let's all get together. We're the Labour family. We're the ones who can make a difference. We're the ones who will make a difference. And if you can do absolutely anything to help with, that we're more interested in getting out there and making the change rather than being on TV earning millions of pounds, rather than working for the interests of the people of Bradford West, what Naz Shah and what every single council. Let's get behind us, let's get behind our councillors, let's make that difference. We know we can.
In every ward, now the next item is Naz Shah's daughter. So big round of applause for this young lady.
Naz Shah is just a Labour candidate for Bradford West, the one who would like to be the next MP. But to me and my brothers, Aidan and Reese, it's much more big and special. And although my mum worked extremely hard and we don't see her every day, we are amazingly proud of her. We love our mum. And I know my mum is going to be the next MP for Bradford West, and she is going to make an amazing change. My mum believes in all of you, so I believe in my mum. My mum is my biggest inspiration because of her confidence and how she went through with all of the hard things in life. So please join us in welcoming the next MP of Bradford West, my mum, Nasha.
Wow. I'm overwhelmed by everybody in this room, but you know, this is my reality. This is my home. Do you want to come up? Right, we don't want to miss the action. This is Reese. I don't know where number middle one is. Aidan, do you want to come up? No, he's shy. Okay. I'm going to set out one of my work, I want to set out some of my background because in the last few weeks a lot of you have heard about my personal life. And what today marks for me is the difference and the launch of the Naz Shah, the MP. Naz Shah, the parliamentarian candidate that needs to be the voice of the voiceless, the voice of Bradford West in Parliament in Westminster. And I will set out why I can be that voice. I have worked in the public sector most of my career, and that started off as a residential social worker, and lots of my colleagues are here today. I then went on to the NHS. I've also worked as an advocate for people with disabilities, and my colleagues from those days are here today as well. When I've advocated for people in their day-to-day living, I've accessed services for them, so I'm a strong advocate. In fact, I had a bit of a reputation. Mike Clifford, who's one of our members, they used to tell their team, the one advocate you need to be careful of is Naz Shah, because she won't let you get away with saying we haven't got the funding for this X, Y and Z. So I have that reputation that goes before me. I then went on to commission, in the last year alone, no less than 88 voluntary sector projects across Bradford. And I managed with colleagues a budget of 5.2 million. So I have colleagues in this room, again, from the Healthy Living Centres, Imran Khan sat there, who we've supported and funded those organisations to make sure we deliver health inequalities where they matter the most, in the communities that we serve. And that has been across the Bradford district. I've since been, my passion then, I went on to, the NHS for me was a game changer because what it gave me was my leadership. I fell in love with leadership when I was in the NHS. And when I fell in love with leadership, it was because somebody saw that I had a spark in me. Somebody saw that I could do much more than what I'm doing just in the NHS locally. I could do bigger things. And I'm very grateful for that. And that set me on my leadership journey. And I then went on to be a regional director for a programme for senior Muslim women to deliver, to help them with their leadership development. That was back in 2008. I since ran a ladies' gym. I also ran Monster Fun, a play centre in Bradford, and I have my family of my own who are with me today. That's my background. Now, why am I here? On the 1st of June last year, somebody asked me the question, what is wrong with Bradford? And with my, I have an opinion on most things, and I gave him my opinion. And he said, put your money where your mouth is, and go and become a politician. And it was a very difficult conversation for me because I used to see myself as an activist and I didn't understand that I was actually already a politician. Because to be a politician, you need politics. To be a politician, you have to have passion and fire because you believe in something. And that is what I do. I believe in people. I believe in betterment for society. I believe that we can be the change that we seek. I am inspired by every single one of you. Every person, young and old in this room, is part of my journey. You make me who I am today. That's me. Now what about Bradford West and what we're going to do for Bradford West? We have a charlatan by the name of George Galloway who's down the road somewhere. Actually, he might not be down the road. He might be on Press TV or Peace TV because that's where he makes a lot more money than what we pay him and what our government pays him. Do you know, to me, a salary of an MP is a full-time job. So, and me, being a mother of three and living in Bradford, how